Welcome to Octopide's Enterprise Hiring Operating System. In this demo, we will follow one end-to-end hiring workflow from approved demand through job setup, candidate discovery, evaluation, outreach, interviews, hiring decisions, administration, and executive analytics and reporting. The goal is simple: help companies hire stronger candidates faster while reducing the time, cost, and operational effort required across the hiring team. Octopide helps teams identify the right people sooner, move with confidence, and secure high-quality candidates before they disappear from the market. Although Octopide supports the full hiring lifecycle, it is designed to be easy to adopt. Teams can get up and running quickly, often within a day, with a user-friendly interface that guides each person through their part of the workflow. Octopide is not another disconnected recruiting app. It connects talent acquisition teams, hiring managers, HR, finance, department leaders, interviewers, and external recruiters in one controlled workflow with permissions, auditability, and automation built in. Before we enter the workflow, let me introduce you to the agent team inside Octopide. Ivy is the evaluation and candidate management agent. Ivy evaluates candidates against the job, analyzes hiring manager feedback, and over time learns and adapts to the team's real selection preferences. Levy is the sourcing agent. Levy looks for new candidates based on the criteria specified by Ivy and the hiring team. Evie is the candidate rediscovery agent. Evie searches the gold mine of previously applied candidates and identifies people who may match a new role. Nova is the outreach agent. Nova runs sequenced communication with sourced candidates, helping the team turn outbound discovery into candidate engagement. Arvo is the scheduling and feedback agent. Arvo dynamically navigates candidate movement through the hiring journey by scheduling interviews, managing RSVPs and rescheduling, collecting feedback, and summarizing input for easier decision-making. Together, these agents help hiring teams find, evaluate, engage, schedule, hire, and report. They support better and faster decisions while the hiring team stays in control. Enterprise hiring starts with controlled demand. On the requisitions page, Octopide gives the organization a structured yet customizable approval path before roles are opened or staffed. A requisition can move from draft through department head review, HR approval, finance approval, and final approval before automatic job posting. Each step has a business owner. The hiring manager defines the need. The department head validates leveling and team fit. HR confirms compensation and compliance. Finance reviews budget, and final approvers authorize the hire. This matters in enterprise environments because headcount, compensation, and location decisions need a durable record. Octopide keeps the request, approvals, changes, linked job postings, active post counts, and hired progress connected to the same requisition number. Once demand is approved, Octopide turns it into an operational job workspace. A job can come from an approved requisition, an ATS import, or direct creation, but once it exists, it becomes the workspace for evaluation, sourcing, interviews, and outcomes. The job record stores more than a title and description. It carries the department, hiring manager, hiring team, HR authority, job poster identity, category tags, source configuration, evaluation settings, and the default candidate journey. For enterprise teams, the settings and activity areas are especially important. Assignment changes are recorded with the actor and the affected member or recruiter, so job ownership changes are visible later instead of being lost in email, chat, or side conversations. Next, we connect the systems that make the workflow operational. Octopide can import jobs and applicants from integrated systems, use calendar-free busy signals for scheduling, and send interview communications through a company-managed AI mailbox. The ATS connection supports import-first recruiting operations. Jobs and applicants can enter Octopide from the existing applicant tracking system, then converge with standalone jobs, requisition-driven jobs, resume uploads, LinkedIn sources, recruiter nominations, EV rediscovery, and Levy sourcing. Calendar and mailbox integrations power Arvo, the scheduling agent. Interviewers can connect read-only FreeBusy access, while the managed mailbox organizes interview events, sends scheduling emails, and monitors calendar event state. With jobs and integrations in place, Octopide brings candidate supply into one company candidate pool. Candidates can come from direct applications through the dedicated talent portal, recruiter submissions through the recruiter portal, ATS imports, resume uploads, Levy sourcing, EV candidate rediscovery, LinkedIn, and other sources. The important point is that these entry points stay connected to the same controlled hiring workflow. Candidates get a simple application experience. External recruiters get a focused portal for submitting and tracking their candidates, and internal teams keep the process permissioned, auditable, and organized. A key distinction is that the candidate pool is not the same as an active job pipeline. Candidates remain in the pool until they are shortlisted into a specific job journey, keeping talent organized without prematurely moving people into process. Ivy's adaptive evaluation layer turns the job description into a detailed scoring basis. Ivy does not just scan for keywords, it looks across the full job description to build a structured evaluation rubric, generating roughly 20 to 30 evaluation and gating criteria. Ivy then ranks candidates against that rubric. This is where the hiring team stops reading hundreds of resumes one by one and starts reviewing structured signal. The full talent pool is still available, but Ivy presents a daily talent dose, a small, manageable group of high-ranked candidates for the team to review. Hiring managers still make the decision. When a hiring manager rejects a high-ranked candidate or gives thumbs-down feedback, Ivy learns from that signal and improves the next daily talent dose from the remaining pool. Within a few review cycles, Ivy learns the hiring team's real selection preferences, even when some preferences were not explicit in the job description. New candidates are then evaluated against those learned preferences within minutes of entering the pool and can quickly appear in the daily talent dose. For teams coming from manual screening, this is where the biggest speed gain appears. Existing customers have been able to compress application-to-shortlist workflows from several weeks to a few days, and often within a week. After evaluation, the shortlist becomes the operational handoff. Shortlisted candidates enter the talent tracker, where Ivy manages the candidate-specific journey for the selected job. Each job has one default journey template. A typical journey may include intro call, technical interview, on-site, offer letter, hired, and rejected. The journey is fully customizable per job and per candidate. The team can add a second technical interview, skip a stage, or use different interview formats. Interviews can be one-on-one, grouped with multiple interviewers, or assigned to any available interviewer. This is where candidate movement becomes visible. The team can see who is active, what stage they are in, what needs to happen next, and where a decision is waiting. Before a candidate books an interview, Arvo needs reliable interviewer availability. Each hiring team member can define time zone, bookable work hours, buffer times, and inclusion or exclusion overrides. Arvo applies those availability rules first, then checks live calendar conflicts using read-only FreeBusy access through the company-provided email account. This lets Arvo streamline scheduling without the usual back-and-forth emails. Based on current platform data, 25% of candidates book their interview in less than 32 minutes, and 50% book in less than 6 hours. That saves time for recruiters, interviewers, hiring managers, and candidates. When a candidate reaches a schedulable stage, Arvo coordinates the scheduling workflow. Arvo emails the scheduling request for the active stage, The candidate selects from validated times, and the system creates the calendar event from the company-managed mailbox. Arvo stores the meeting info and interviewer assignments. The shared calendar invite includes candidate and interviewer context, while keeping internal interview goals out of candidate-visible invite content. The interviews page becomes the operations dashboard after booking. HR can review booking status, RSVP status, reminders, moved meeting times, provider cancellations, calendar monitoring issues, and reschedule needs. If a required attendee declines, Arvo can cancel the interview and initiate a new booking flow. After interviews, Arvo keeps feedback attached to the candidate, job, journey stage, interview, and reviewer. Interviewers can add comments and recommendations. Authorized users can make reject or advance decisions. Interviewers without decision authority can still recommend reject or recommend advance, and their feedback remains part of the candidate record. Sensitive information, such as compensation or salary discussion, is stored separately and has stricter viewing rules. Permission alone is not enough. The viewer must also have the right job authority, such as department head, hiring manager, or HR authority for that job. When an authorized user moves a candidate from offer letter to hired, Octopide records the hiring outcome. If the approved headcount is filled, Octopide notifies HR approvers to pause active job postings. Authorized HR users can also add the new hire to the org chart hierarchy. Sensitive employee data can be completed later in the Company Members page by authorized HR users. This keeps the hiring decision, employee conversion, and HR record connected without exposing sensitive fields to the wrong audience. Enterprise recruiting also requires administration. Admins can manage who can access Octopide, edit jobs, modify hiring team members, work with external recruiters, access sensitive data, and approve tasks. Just as important, admins control scope. A user may have access to only their own jobs, their own department, or the full company. The org chart provides a published reporting hierarchy with a permissioned planning mode. Authorized users can plan and save future reporting changes before they are published. The final step is analytics. Octopide turns pipeline history into well-structured reporting that leaders can use to improve hiring performance across company, department, manager, recruiter, job, and time period. Analytics show pipeline facts, rejection reasons, stage progress speeds, transition timing, recent hired candidate journeys, scheduling performance, and external recruiter yield and ranking. Leaders have access to live reporting as well as historical, quarterly, and annual reports in PDF or Excel format. This gives executives and operators a shared view of what is working, where hiring is slowing down, and which sources are producing results. To summarize, Octopide connects the full hiring lifecycle: governed demand, job setup, source configuration, candidate intake, AI evaluation, shortlist, outreach, scheduling, feedback, offer, hired outcome, employee conversion, administration, analytics, and audit trail. The enterprise value is not only speed, it is consistency, permission control, operational visibility, recruiter and interviewer coordination, cleaner reporting, and fewer disconnected handoffs between HR, hiring managers, finance, candidates, and external recruiting partners. Ivy, Levy, Evie, Nova, and Arvo each handle a different part of the workflow, but together they operate as one connected hiring system.